Welcome to Armchair Pundits Week in Review Show. We've got Darryl, we've got Leon. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, all
Not
good.
too bad. Not too bad, thanks, bro. How are you?
I'm sure you are. Not as good as you guys. Yes, it is only 8 games, but sitting top of the table. Sure, you didn't expect to be there in the summer when there's all talks of Harry Kane leaving.
Nah, it's been a good start. Positive. Obviously, a long, long way to go. We don't expect to be here at the end of the season, but the longer we are in the hunt, the better chances of us getting back into the top 4 and hopefully moving on from there. So,
Yeah,
good.
I'm just taking it each day, each match week at a time, and just enjoying the ride. And if we can stay up at these heights, then come towards the end of the season, we've got a chance of being in that top 4. I'll be happy. Like don't start calling us title contenders and putting us in the power race because that's just unrealistic. Like you said, it's only 8 games, so I'm not getting too excited. Like I know there are a few Tottenham fans out there probably are getting excited, but bring yourself back down to reality and back down to earth.
There's a slap in the face around the corner.
Yeah,
Any
exactly.
minute.
We ain't Tottenham for no reason.
We
Although
did say
you
we're
know
going
what?
to do a review. You're gone.
I said although we've avoided some Spursy moments, so I'm proud of us for that because I think I said it to you, I think, Leon, when I said midday kickoff against Luton away from home, chance to go top of the league. That smells disaster for us normally all day long. And once we got the red card, I was like, oh, here we go. This is what I was talking about. But we managed to pull out a result against 10 men, away from home. So, like I said, we're starting to avoid those Spursy things. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it might be the change to that kind of mentality.
You guys want to change your final position yet? I think you said what, 5th?
The dreaming of 5th.
Dreaming of 5th.
Yeah.
Any alterations, Leon?
Nah, man. I'm happy to be proved wrong in the best way possible. So they do better than 6th. I'll be happy with that. I'm not changing my prediction. Staying level-headed. There's a long way to go. Like, if you look at the top of the league, it's very tight. One loss, you drop down. Like, there's 1 point, 2 points between most of the positions in the top 6 or 7. So it's really tight, man. It's been a good start to the season from a competitive perspective. No one's running away with anything right now.
And
fair enough.
That's just changed off the back of 2 results because before that everyone was talking about City just running away with it. And off the back of 2 results, all of a sudden it's not the same. So,
well, we said it last week, didn't we? With Rodri getting a red card, was that going to be a big factor? Them already not having De Bruyne and losing someone like Rodri. Yes, one of them was a Carabao Cup game, and he probably wouldn't have started anyway. But they lost all 3 games, and all 3 of them were Premier League teams because Newcastle was the Carabao Cup game. So,
but on the other hand, they've lost 2 in a row, and yet they're only
2 points
behind.
2 points behind.
2 points behind. There you go. So it shows you how tight it is still.
Yeah, it is mad. It's mad. But watching your game, I mean, first half before the red card, I couldn't understand how you guys had it scored yet.
I can tell you how. Richarlison, that's how. Because he missed some chances, boy, and like you said, in the first 15 minutes, we should have probably been 3-0 up. Played some really good stuff. That's probably some of the best football and chances we created. You'd expect that we're playing Luton, realistically. But we just didn't take the chances, and those things can come back to haunt you. Fortunately, it didn't this time.
Yeah, we rode our luck for sure. After we went down to 10, but getting the goal from Van der Ven, we're getting goals from various areas of the field now. So it's good in the sense that we've got contributions coming from multiple places, which is what you need when you lose a 30-goal striker. But yeah, been really, really good, really positive. We've had a couple of tough games. We've played all 3 promoted sides and we've got victories against all of them. So you've got to take that. And we'll see what happens moving forward.
So are you guys looking at it thinking you are a bit lucky. That's what I was listening to on the radio today. They're saying, like you just said yourself, you've played all three teams that just come up. Like realistically, any team that's looking to get into Champions League, which you guys will be or should have been, that should be expected.
Yeah,
So are you
100%.
technically doing what you expected, what should be expected of Tottenham, or are you currently overachieving?
No, I think we've overachieved in terms of the record, because when you look at it, Arsenal were leaps and bounds ahead of us last year. We we didn't have a hope of winning either of the North London derbies last season. Not I was at the home game and we got played off the park, really. But to me, I think it showed the progress that's been made. The fixtures you can't really look at. You have to take them individually. Brentford away was always tough because they've had a really, really good home record. The Luton game, lunchtime kickoff, as Darryl said, on a Saturday, we've historically dropped the ball in that game. We've lost to Sheffield United, we've lost to Burnley, we've lost those early kickoffs. We've lost away from home many, many times. So to me, like that type of game we would normally lose, but this weekend we started to, as Darryl said, we're starting to try and get rid of that Spursy tag, because we've often been hit with it because we faltered whenever we get a good win or a positive result. We always follow it up with some BS. So it was good that we managed to get the victory, a 1-0 down to 10 men, conceded a few chances, but they didn't take them. But we also missed a bag of chances. So right now, to me, yeah, I think we've got the start that we hoped for, and the fixtures that we should be winning, we've won, and we've had a couple of bonus points here and there as well with the Liverpool game and the Arsenal game.
Basuma, Darryl, talk to me.
Just a bit silly, isn't it? Really, to be honest with you. You got the yellow card, which was a foul. That's a straight out yellow card, so deserved. And then I don't really understand why.
He's not even in the box. He's not even in the box.
In this day and age, right? In this day and age, if you get a red card without no VAR, then you've done something really wrong.
That's true.
2 yellows as well.
But it was I don't know, Mama Madness. Obviously, he was dribbling through a couple players. I don't know. He went down expecting the touch, and didn't get the touch. Don't know what he's trying to achieve there. I know you say he wasn't in the box, so it's even bit.
Why?
Well, when you got free kicks that take like Madison, and we haven't scored yet at that point, maybe he's thinking that. I don't know. But it's just a silly moment, isn't it? And obviously, hopefully, he'll learn from that. He's going to cost us, because a team without Bazuma is going to be at a disadvantage, so he's going to miss a game.
Fulham at home, though, so at least it's a home game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Fulham, no joke. So
it'll be a case where someone is going to have to come in and step up and show that they want to break into that starting three in midfield. So we'll see what happens there. But just a moment of madness, silly. I'm sure he's apologised to the rest of the team, and to be honest with you, the rest of the team dug it out for him and didn't make it a costly mistake on his behalf. He managed to get the 3 points still, and it showed the strength and character that we got. So it's interesting because I was reading the comments online while watching the game, and people were saying, finally, Tottenham got what they deserved, refereeing decision against them, blah, 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 this and the other. The hatred for Spurs, and I think Jamie O'Hara tapped on it this week on their show on TalkSport. The hatred for Spurs is it's ridiculous. Like, everyone's still going on about this whole Liverpool thing. Like, I've seen Arsenal fans up in arms about it, and it's not even their team. Like, I think
you know why your manager. You know what is everyone likes Ange, but then when they asked him about it, and he basically said, "I wouldn't have." If they said give him back the goal, I wouldn't have done it. People are thinking, "Oh, whoa!" Like, everyone in the world knows that was wrong, and you're literally going to say, "I want to give him back the goal." I think that's probably when things start to turn, and they'll be thinking,
"Okay, the thing is,
James, got nothing to do with it, James. Got nothing to do with it. Everyone just loves to see Tottenham fail. That's it.
Yeah,
That's the end of the story. Everyone loves to see Tottenham fail. Apart from Spurs fans, that's all it is.
Jamie O'Hara was saying it like last year. Everyone was like Arsenal were riding high. This day, Arsenal can win the league. Arsenal can do this. Arsenal can do that. Blah blah blah. Tottenham, we're top of the league. We're doing well, having a great run. We haven't dropped points against Arsenal or Liverpool, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, don't worry, they're just gonna fail anyway. They're not gonna be there for long. They're gonna
Yeah,
fall
but
away,
we
stuff like
haven't
that.
proved that we can do it. That's the reason, James.
No, and
Yeah.
I hear that because the instant comeback is like, well, all these other teams win stuff and you lot don't. So until we do that, then I get it with
Right
the credit
question.
stuff, but it's like really, like what is
If
like,
you'd beaten us without the controversy, you reckon the narrative would have been slightly different?
No, I don't think so.
No, I
Because
think
obviously,
people just finding it.
Man United right now, they're rubbish. Arsenal, you got a lot of credit for the Arsenal game.
You got
After that game, you got a lot of credit for it. But
really,
after our game, you didn't get credit that you potentially could have got because of the way the win came about.
realistically,
Yeah,
we've
it's
only
not our
deserved,
fault. The
we've
referees
only
made the mistake.
we've only deserved credit against Arsenal. Realistically, we did great to get a result at United, but before we got the result at United were all over us. We didn't come out shining against you, regardless of the result, because when you had 10 men, when you had 9 men, you held us off at bay with ease. So, realistically, like Leon said,
So should you be getting credit then? From what you just said, you don't deserve it.
I'm
From what you just said.
I'm not asking for credit. I'm not asking for credit out here. I'm not asking for what's the obsession with us having a downfall? Like, what is the obsession with it? Like, I was on the way home from the NFL game on Sunday, and Arsenal obviously played at home at the Emirates, and so the whole lot of us on the train together. I'm hearing these Arsenal fans, why can't we score one more goal just so that we could be on top of Tottenham in the league? And you're like,
it's rivals though, bro. It's
but,
rivals.
but bro, you just
They don't ever want to be. They don't ever want to be below you though. That's understandable.
yeah, but you
I don't ever want to be below Everton. Ever.
but you just
It's never going to happen.
You just beat City for the first time in a long time. You finally beat
and they
City,
didn't go top.
right?
They didn't go top.
And it's goal difference. It's not even a goal difference. I think it's the fact that we scored more goals than them. Like, and it's like,
yeah, you got 18. You got 18.
It's
well,
like,
you're both on 10, but you got 18. They've got 16
yeah,
goals.
and it's like, wow, really? Like, it means that much to you? Like, at this stage of the game, at this stage of the season, 8 games in, like, you know, pre-season didn't even feel that we was a threat anyway. So why are you worrying now? Like, we should have scored one more. We need to be a top of Tottenham in the like. And it's like people saying to us, "Oh, well done, congratulations, you've won the international break." Well, so it's like, so what?
You want to transfer? You want to transfer with the last year?
You know that was banter, innit? We have to just take it on the chin.
Yeah,
like everyone was. Let's be honest, right? We got to be real. I hear what you're saying, though, but at the same time, nobody realistically wanted Arsenal to win the league last year. No one, apart from Arsenal fans, because we would have never heard the end of it from Arsenal fans. We would have never heard the end of it. Enough teams were rooting against them. No one like City don't have like who has friends that's a Man City fan, a legit Man City fan? No one. So if they win the league, it's like, it doesn't matter. But when you have people who are connected to those other teams who are close to you, and you know they're just going to chat doo-doo all day, you don't want them to win. So we've got to take it on the chin. They don't want us. No one wants us to go to start talking because they know they won't hear the end of it. But that's the problem. So they're going to keep wanting us to fail, and we've kept failing for 20 years. So until we change that, it's going to be like that. It's never going to change until we actually do something.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Cool. Let's roll. Let's move on to the next game.
Go on, James.
Well, I'll probably have a few rants.
Yeah, go on, James, because your turn now. Because I know you weren't. we both know you weren't.
I would like to say it was a fantastic game for a neutral.
That was a great
Both
game.
teams played amazing football.
I know James is upset because James wanted that Brighton for the last couple of weeks to turn up, and
no, it's not from that. Klopp messed up from the beginning, because when I saw the lineup, I was like, "Why is Elliott starting?" Right? I know Endo hasn't been fantastic, but we played in the Europa League. Endo came off at half time with Salah, and I think with Szoboszlai. It might not be Szoboszlai, or with somebody.
On or off?
It came off.
It came off at half time with Salah and Diaz. So those three came off. So everyone was like, "Oh, okay, he's coming off at half time. Maybe he's starting against Brighton because we know it's going to be full on. I don't think anybody had Harvey Elliott started. Gravenberch came on. Gravenberch had a really good game again.
Oh, he did.
So everyone was like, okay, it's gonna be one of those two. And Harvey Elliott didn't do anything horribly wrong, but he just, apart from the step over, which is in the end a good step
That was
over.
very good.
But
The dummy.
but
Yeah, the dummy was good.
yeah, but
in
terms of actually full on input, it just wasn't what we needed.
Bro,
Because
is Harvey Elliott the reason you did not win the game?
no, first half we were lucky. Early on, we were a bit lucky because they had some chances when they went 1-0 up.
You
They
also
could've-
gifted them the chance that they scored with.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
you did. There was gifts all around, to be fair. But after the game against you, we expect fans are thinking, okay, cool, let's set it right. Go in there with Sean Midfield. Now got a chance of McAllister going back to his old club, playing his own position. We know we're going to need a defensive minded midfielder in there to plug the gaps. Give Endo a chance. Like Klopp's been saying, give him a chance. He's a long term. When he says long term, now we know what he means by long term because he's not really giving him the chances in the league games. But it's made sense for me to have him in there. He didn't even come on the pitch in the end. But yeah, we got up 2-1, and I looked at it, and then I saw the penalty, and I was like, okay, cool. Red card, cool. Let's be. Hold on, it's not a red card. Okay, yellow card. That's not even a yellow card. He didn't give anything. Then you hear, oh yeah, there's no double jeopardy business. There's no double jeopardy. He did not make an attempt to win the ball. He just grabbed man and dragged him to the floor. So how has VAR looked at that and not sent him off?
Because the referee didn't give a card.
Yeah, I think it's more of a point.
No, it doesn't have to be a card though, because
That's
they
for them to
review
intervene
everything.
unless it's a red card offence. But I don't know.
It is a red card offence.
Okay, dangerous play
It's a
or
red
serious
card
foul
offence.
play or whatever it was. He just tried to take his shirt off instead.
I think one of the things that's bothering me now is more the inconsistencies of it.
Yeah,
Because before we started the show, we've had our own debates on the Jota. Was Jota's a red card? Yes or no? Well, they've come out and said they didn't check the first year, the PGMO or whatever you call them. I never get that right. But they've come out and said they didn't check the first yellow card because they can't. But by the way, the yellow cards that he got for the doggy chip should never have been a yellow card. That's what they've officially said. So it's like, okay, so you don't expect
again,
consistency in the next game.
it goes to laws of the game though. He
No, but they are the lawmakers. The lawmakers have sat there, reviewed the game, and it should have been a yellow card.
You can say they're the lawmakers, yeah, but it's written down. The laws are written down. And at the end of the day, he unintentionally tripped him.
He got too excited because this weekend, yeah, you've had the Man City game where Kovacic should have got a red card for the first tackle.
We'll talk about that later.
Gets the yellow card.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later, but then he makes another foul, and the referee's like, "Calm down, guys." He speaks to him and says, "Listen, no more." Then you go to another game where you get the Newcastle game, exact same situation. Not in terms of it's actually more like the Jota one because it's a soft yellow card first of all, then a definite yellow card in some people's eyes second half. Nothing. So are we now sitting here thinking, okay, cool? Have they looked at the Jota and realized that was wrong and rectified it this week, or have they made a mistake this week? You know what I mean? Because we don't know because the consistency is so ridiculous that against Brighton, them getting hammered 6-1 last week, 10 men, we probably would have won that game. In all honesty, 2-1 up just before half time, we probably would have won that game. And for me, the referee has cost us that game because the free kick we conceded, even De Zerbi's come and said it wasn't a free kick. Yes, I'm not going to deny. After the free kick's been awarded, you have to do your job, and we defended it poorly. But the free kick should never been awarded in the first place. So again, referees are just making mistakes. They're actually changing results now, affecting results every week. Before it was like every now and again you have it's almost like every week you're getting 2 or 3 games where the referees actually had an input on the result. And it's just ridiculous now. We could argue we sitting here 1 point. I'm not going to guarantee we would have beaten you, but 1-0 up, we could have possibly got a draw against you with 10 men. Probably wouldn't have gone down to 9 men because the whole game changes when we 1 up. But we could have got 4 points from the last 2 games. We've got 1. And for me, it's heavily down to the refereeing decisions. And something needs to be done, whether they need further training, whether it's a case where the VAR guys, I know you can't, by rules, have an extra player in there, but they've got to do something. They've got to do something to fix it because it's just, we shouldn't be, VAR was supposed to stop these talks that we're having now. But instead, they've allowed me to talk for 3 or 4 minutes on their decisions when they actually be talking about a really good game, as Leon said. But I think the referee spoke for a fan. They spoiled the game for me. For you guys, you can enjoy it because it has an effect. But for me, it spoiled the game. I'm just sitting there thinking we should be playing against 10 men.
You know what? There's a balance in it to everything. What goes around comes around and stuff like that. Like you're here now, and like obviously for our fans and stuff. So don't want everyone to go off to think that James is moaning every week, although he does moan a lot about
But it's right for
about decisions against Liverpool.
But the red card rescinded already. But
remember last year when you lot were getting a hell of VAR decisions in your favour.
We weren't though. That was
come on.
When they had the stats table, we weren't even near the top. But because we were Liverpool and we had that Liverpool tag, as soon as we got one, everyone forgot all the others that happened. But when they looked at the table, we were like middle of the table when it came to VR affecting decisions. We weren't there.
I agree.
We weren't one of the most.
I agree with you. The consistency isn't great, and I hear what you're saying. And they need to make a clear and decisive decision about what are yellow cards, what the because realistically, like you're saying, the Gamiras one, the second tackle is definitely got to be yellow, and that means he's off, regardless of how soft the first one is. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean?
It didn't matter against Jota.
Yeah. So exactly.
Before.
So the consistency's got to be improved. But they need to review this whole VAR stuff. They need to look into the referees and their interpretations of laws and using common sense and education of the game and situations in it as well. I know you said about possibly having other players ex-players up in VAR and stuff like that. Kind of like what F1 do with the stewarding of incidents on the tracks and stuff. I'm not sure if that work. Obviously, there've been arguments and debates on Sky with Paul Merson and stuff like that. But
oh wow, that
was but like you said, it just needs to everything just needs to be a bit more concise and clear. And whether it means rewriting the rules or giving referees more of an understanding of situational decisions, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it was a good game from our point of view, from a non-fan point of view. It was a good game of football, and I enjoyed that. And that's the kind of game that
Gravenberch should have buried it.
Yeah, he had a good game, but
if he scores that, it's game over. And I think XG, we're top of the league for XG, considering we've had a 9-man game and a 10-man game. I don't know how we're top of the league for XG, but it bodes well. I think I said last week, and it proved again this weekend. To beat us, teams are gonna have to do a lot to beat us.
I'm not surprised by you XG. You remember when you won the title? You actually was off the chain that year. So you had an off season. You had an off season last season, and Liverpool.
But they ended the season again.
Yeah, exactly. They're back. They're back to the levels that you expect them to be. And okay, you've had some adversity this season so far with some contentious decisions against you and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you should still be happy and proud that you guys are back and you're playing football like you had. Salah's back on fire, scoring goals. The way that Haaland and obviously no Kane around, you look like he could be a shoo-in for top goal scorer this season. The way he's playing, and that's a good thing because he was a bit off last season as well, even though his record was still high.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's positive. We played you away. We played Newcastle away. We played Chelsea away, and we're 3 points off the top.
Exactly.
Where some people said we've got no chance of doing anything this season. So in that regard, Klopp's even said himself he's surprised how quickly the midfield has gelled. So I don't know. We'll see because there's more work to do. I think Klopp needs to find a way to. I don't know what he needs to do with Endo because we're gonna need him. The fact that we didn't buy a DM that we were confident in could bite us of when we get to the biggest games because as you saw, there were times where I think there was one where the Brighton midfielder, the new one, I think it's Kaleva, I could be saying, or Baleba.
Yeah,
He just ran through the middle of our midfield. Like literally got the ball a bit wide in his half and ran through, cut in, and if he's got composure, he buries that, and we're losing the game. So there's work that needs to be done there because transition wise, we still don't. I like what do you call it, McAllister. He's doing okay in that position, but I think we're losing something not having him there.
Mm.
And the sooner we find it, the sooner I don't know. I think the problem we're having as well is with Bajcetic, he's had a setback. So and the worst thing about his injuries are it's all due to his body growth. So they can't rush him.
Mm.
So whereas we thought, okay, cool, he'll be our DM this season. If it's injuries or knocks that are all going to impact his body and his growth, we've seen with Jones last year. They're not going to take the risk, and they won't play him until it settles. So we may not see him until November. Well, okay, November's around the corner now. We may not see him properly till January. But anyway, I'll move on. It was a good game. We drew it, and we've got a Merseyside derby once again. Liverpool have the first game at 11:30 after international, and we've got Everton. So I don't know. We'll see how that comes and how all the players come back fully fit.
Can't blame that on anyone else but TV, mate.
Yeah, yes, TV. And I think it's because we're Europa League, which is our fault. BT Sport are going to try and take every chance that they can get to have us at 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing because I think doing the maths and stuff, I think Tottenham, realistically, I think are only going to have. I think actually on Sky, I think Tottenham are only going to have like 4 games this season on Sky, based on fixtures and stuff. Supposedly, someone worked out, which is
4 games on Sky.
Yeah, supposedly.
No,
maybe Super Sunday.
No, it's going to change. Maybe. Remember, because the fixture list is done for the season,
second half.
The actual they only do the TV picks like every 2-3 months.
Yeah, I think they've.
So right now,
I think
we've only got 4, but there'll be more ahead of the rest of the season.
I think that was based on the fact of who we're playing, when we're playing them, and the whole European stuff like that.
Okay.
The fact that we're obviously predominantly just Saturday games, realistically.
3 o'clock is so easy for you guys.
Yeah, and it's the opponents that we'll possibly be up against during those fixture weekends with them being in Europe or et cetera, et cetera. So someone was doing some math working out anyway.
Okay, so the big game of the weekend. Arsenal have finally ended the hoodoo.
They have
12 defeats in a row. And they've beaten
without Saka.
They've beaten Man City. Without Saka. So do you give them credit for doing it without Saka when Martinelli didn't start, but he came on. But Man City didn't have De Bruyne, they didn't have Rodri, and not me, but as some people have said, they also they've got rid of Gundogan, their championship winning midfield was not there.
Yeah.
Or did you just say, listen, well done, Arsenal? He plays in front of you.
Bro, end of the day, you gotta go through an entire season. When teams are gonna get injuries, it's how you deal with that. The reason you have a transfer window and money to spend is to make sure you have a squad that can handle the injury losses. Man City tried to alleviate that problem, but they couldn't because they weren't able to sign a couple of people that they wanted.
And they couldn't afford Rice, apparently. That's what he said in the press conference afterwards.
Well, there you go. But, they tried to get Paqueta as well, who would have been, what you're seeing for West Ham at the moment, a brilliant addition to their team. But to me, you've got to give Arsenal credit. End of the day, they played who's out there. They didn't have Saka, who's their star boy. He's a player that they've relied on, especially in key games. So to me, you just got to give them credit, because if they had lost, people would just been saying, Man City just got it over, got Arsenal's number. Yeah, so to me, it doesn't matter who's playing. They've beaten them. They've beaten them in the league, and that's going to obviously give Arsenal a lot of confidence. It's going to help them, I think, for the rest of the season, because they've now got rid of that hoodoo, and we'll see what happens after the international break, whether they take that and run with it for the foreseeable future.
The thing is, I think it's going to make a difference with the midfield. Like you said, based on the championship with the midfield and it not being there, it's going to make a difference. Saka is one player. I know he's a very important player for them, and he's key to their team. But the way that Arteta sets up, the way they play and stuff like that, he's got a squad that's built to alleviate those problems. Whereas I feel with Man City, Pep with his tinkering and experimental stuff, it then sometimes hinders him in those situations. Because if he had a set...
Why didn't Grealish come on?
I don't know.
Say again?
Grealish didn't come off the bench, bro.
I don't know.
No. And they had Rico Lewis playing in that holding midfield role.
That's what I'm saying. So
when he had...
No, they had Bernardo Silva playing in that role.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess. Well, then Rico Lewis, you're pushing forward. Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. This is what I'm...
But Bernardo is someone who's going to create chances. So
this
to me...
Is it Pep's fault?
Yeah.
Is Pep got to a big game again and tried to be too fancy?
Basically.
Bro,
yeah.
Pep was doing this last season when they slipped behind Arsenal. People were saying it's because Pep's experimenting. He does this.
Yeah.
He's done it against Liverpool.
Sometimes I feel like
he
gets bored. I swear. Like sometimes I feel like he's getting bored, and then he has an idea, a revolutionary idea in his head that he thinks, yeah, you know what? That's what I need to do. This is going to work, and he thinks he's come on, and it works.
Champions League final against Chelsea, same thing. Experimented and it didn't work. So to me, it's I've got to give Arsenal credit, man.
No,
they won the game. That's what you can do.
Give Arsenal credit. They won it, like you said. They did it at home.
Fortune, yes, but they won.
Fortune,
so
yeah.
It is what it is.
Because realistically, both the times they've beaten this season, both deflections.
Goals. Goals are goals. Goals are goals.
A bit mad, but yeah. Go on, Jay, what you going to say?
Does it change? Does it change favourites for the title?
Nah, I don't think so.
Because do you think it gives them that? Because obviously the crutch.
It gives them that confidence.
Yeah, because the team they couldn't beat was Man City, and after they lost to Man City, that's when their heads dropped and they thought they can't win it. Now they've beaten them.
That's not why
this season is different to this last season as well, though, because there was a lot of teams who, remember, it was Arsenal and Man City were like streets ahead of everyone else. Everyone else was falling behind. It wasn't competitive because the gap was so big. But I don't see the gap being so big, and I think there's the teams that are chasing are much better prepared and much better equipped to challenge. So I don't think Arsenal and Man City are going to have it their own way. So them winning this game is cool, but as we said, Man City are only 2 points behind Arsenal and us, and Liverpool are 3 points behind. So realistically, it's going to be. It doesn't mean anything. It means something for Arsenal, but not for the rest of the league. The league chase.
It gives them confidence, and like you said, they've finally got over that hoodoo. It gives them a bit of confidence, and it gives them some belief when they play them again. Obviously, it'll be at the Etihad. It's going to give them belief. Like you said, they got that monkey off their back, but it wasn't the City games that lost them the title last year. Those weren't the key games that lost them the title last year.
They drew against us.
That was the nailing.
Southampton,
West Ham, Southampton.
Newcastle getting battered by Newcastle. Those are the games that the City game just was the nail in the coffin. That just made it realistic that yeah, we're done for again. And it was because of that hoodoo that they had. Yeah, they've got that off their back now, but it's not going to make a difference. That match, one match, and winning that is not going to make a difference to what decides the title. I can tell you that now. Definitely not. It's gonna be there's more other teams around that are gonna push them and stuff like that. For me personally, like I said in my predictions, I felt it was going to be a City Liverpool battle again, and I'm not going to change that personally, in my opinion.
Makes sense. We're on our way back. Okay, so before we go, Man United, are they in serious trouble? McTominay comes and saves them, but was that just a massive paper over the cracks?
A little bit. A little bit because obviously the timing of the goals.
Yeah, I think
and who scored them as well. McTominay is not known for, scoring many goals and winning goals at that. So fair play to him. Two pretty good finishes, to be honest with you, given the circumstances.
I heard some.
They're a difficult one to read.
Some United fans
saying, difficult one to read right now.
Saying, the spirit of Barcelona 99.
Oh wow!
It was crazy.
Really?
Do you know all for me? All that did is, I wouldn't say paper over the cracks. It's given Ten Hag some breathing space, because after this rapturous situation like that, where you've won the game in injury time, it can unite those fans and make them feel better, and got the international break. If they had lost that, got an international break, it could be a completely different thing. It's giving him some time. He'll have time with the players that don't go on international duty, and he'll work on certain things and stuff like that. So all it's done is buy him time, and it depends what he wants to do. If Ten Hag wants to do, he could shore up the defense, do what he expects. Because again, Maguire had a good game. You just not get that twisted. You could shore up the defense and start winning games 1-0 and getting back on track like that again.
Sheffield United, when they come back away, which should be a win, realistically.
Yeah, there you go.
I say it should be, but so that should be a good way for them to rebound.
But the thing is, we're in an international break, and we're not talking about Ten Hag and United losing. That's what it. You know what I mean? That's what it's done. That's what it's done for them.
True.
Go on, Lee.
Okay.
Leon looks like he's thoughtful. Yeah,
I was holding off the biggest sneeze, bro.
Well, the sneeze that's like them kind of sneezes, yeah.
Bro, I was trying to hold that genuine sneeze, bro. It's probably still festering there. So,
Leon, let's not forget that he was a Ten Hag fan, bro. Like, at one point, you would have liked him as our manager. Like, do you think we got away with one?
Bro, I'm not. I don't. Yeah, have we got away with one? Maybe, but managing Man United, they've got a lot of problems. I mean, we've got some other rooted problems, but Man United are supposed to be. They're supposed to be successful, considering how big they are and the fact that that Man United. There isn't really much else to say. He has to do better, but it doesn't help when certain players that he thought he could rely on haven't performed. Onana so far is looking worse than De Gea at any stage right now, because he's got to save that. Bro, he's got to save that. And if Harry Maguire was making mistakes that's causing the goals in the same way that Onana has, he would, mate, people would be coming for him. So to me, Onana needs to fix up, because he is a good goalkeeper. We've seen it for Inter. He wasn't doing this madness. He needs to fix up. He needs to stop playing so lethargic and so blasé when he's on the ball, like he's some flipping sweeper keeper like Neuer. He just needs to just do the same thing.
You think he's made it already?
No, I don't think it's about making it.
He's got
there. Because remember, he had beef with Cameroon about this. His manager said, you need to stop doing this madness. And he said, well, I'm going to keep doing it. And the manager said, well, you're not going to play then. And that's why he went home. So, end of the day, this is his nature. but he himself needs to look at himself and be better, because he can't afford to be conceding goals like this.
I'll give him credit though, because he is very honest, he is very open, and he calls himself out, and he's very blasé, very blunt with his own criticism, and I'll give him credit for that. Personally, in my opinion,
fix up then,
yeah,
innit?
exactly. True.
You can say anything you want, but you got to make sure on the pitch that you're representing, and that's what he needs to do.
One thing you hate about people always saying sorry. Stop saying sorry.
Do something about it. Yeah.
Do something about it, bro. Just get in the lab and do what you need to do to make sure you're not making them same mistakes. Simple.
All right, last one. I was going to drop it at the Man United, but Chelsea had a good week. Do you think potentially could be the start of the turnaround? I don't think they're going to challenge, but in terms of them potentially getting a good run of fixtures, because Cole Palmer has stepped up, come in and is making a difference, even taking penalties.
I think they'll be more of a problem once Poch has found a consistency with his team and what he's doing. They're still all over the place, really, in terms of players' position. I know they've got injuries and things like that, and form and stuff like that. Once he gets a settled team that he feels like he can trust week in, week out, then there'll be a problem. But until that comes around, I think they'll still be, you don't know what you're going to get from them, because again, they were losing that game, and they got fortunate to get back into it. So
it
was good play, really. Sterling had a good game.
Again, but then again, Sterling's consistency is, and is he going to be the future for them if they're going down the route of, obviously, that they are with a lot of talented youngsters?
I don't think so.
But then when does Poch then start phasing him out, and before you start,
he can't right now.
No, he can't right now. That's what I'm saying. So I think, like they're like us, they don't have Europe to worry about. So it's a lot easier for them. But until he gets a settled, consistent team that he feels like he believes that he can trust, then I still think they'll be up and down. Cucurella, he's played well. He's come in, he's played well and stuff like that. But even the comments that Poch says about him, like, well, he's had to step in and he's got a chance to show me this and that. But don't get it twisted. Once certain people are back, Cucurella's touching bench again.
Bro, no one puts left foot as at right back if they have to,
exactly.
Unless they have to. So no one's doing that.
So I think he's.
So Gusto's back.
Yeah, Gusto's back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and he done all right until obviously the red card was pretty bad. But he had done all right. Gusto.
James and I said pre-season, we said he's too good to be a backup right back to anyone.
Yeah,
and he's too good. The way Reece James caught.
He's probably not going to be a backup.
The way Reece James can't stay fit,
James
exactly.
Was getting
so we'll see. But I wouldn't say I'm not worried about them, but I still think he's got a lot of work to do there. And I'm hoping it doesn't work out for him personally.
You did say you wanted to touch on the other two red cards. I've said my say. Anything you want to say about the red cards in the Newcastle game and the Man City game, Man City Arsenal? Because if Arsenal imagine if Arsenal had drawn that game.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, to be honest with you,
imagine what would have been said if they'd drawn that game.
The way the referee dismissed everyone, he already knew in his mind, I don't want to have to give a red card here, and he basically shut it down. It was both tackles were orange. You might even say one of them was a red. It was so. Bro, he was very fortunate to get away with that.
Which one's this one? You're talking about
Kovacic.
I don't get it. I don't get how VAR sees the first one, and the fact we'll go back to James and the Liverpool match, because
do we have to?
Yeah, okay. Well, then no one's dropping it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm leaving this conversation to you two. I've said my
VAR's looked at that. They've seen studs in the man. They've advised to send the guy off. Like Kovacic has put studs in the player, and they've said, no, it's cool, just yellow. Okay, that's fine. Then he's gone and done it again, and then nothing. Like for me, I hear what you're saying, Leon, that they're both yellow, amber.
Orange.
But personally,
I said orange, bro. They are borderline.
But for me, both of them could be in red. Nothing long. Both of them can be red. Studs, inner players, ankle. Do you know what I mean? If it's with a bit more force and his foot stuck in the ground, could be an injury causing tackle. So I don't know how he stayed on.
I think the first was worse than the second,
yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
But it's the stupidity of the second. Like, what the hell are you doing?
And the guys, and he's like, get up, come on, get up. And you're like, what? Like, and these guys know that VAR's there. Like, what are you doing?
No, he said get up because he knew that he made an egregious error, and he was trying to get away with it.
You know, just like James's point earlier, touching about it, you know, have they looked at, you know, Jota's 2 yellows and thought, okay, we're not going to do that? Have they looked at that red card for Curtis Jones and said, you know, maybe we need to be a bit more cautious with the Reds in those situations where, you know, start to make contact and it's not really a full-on forceful tackle? Maybe, I don't know.
Well, they haven't communicated anything, and maybe this international break will give them 2 weeks to train because they do need some training of some kind and figure out what they're going to go with and make sure they let the clubs know what to expect, because I think
they're going to Dubai, bro. The referee in Saudi Arabia.
What, to earn that in that paper?
Making paper, bro.
Well, then nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same problems if that's the case.
Like it was said before, the Premier League could have spent the money. They could have had the same VAR system that the World Cup had in Qatar, but they didn't want to do that.
The offside one, you mean?
The
semi-automatic.
Yeah,
the semi-automatic offsides.
So,
okay,
cool. We're talking about the richest.
The Newcastle. You haven't mentioned the Newcastle one yet.
Well, we said that. We mentioned that before. Yeah,
you said it.
I said.
Well, I didn't. But
I said the first one, innocuous silly tackle. The second one should have been the yellow, so he should have been off. Simple as that, really.
Newcastle, are they back? Before we go,
did they leave?
Well, remember they won the first game, and then I think they lost 3 in a row or something like that.
But they played you and they played Man City, bro.
And someone else. I think there was another game after that.
Tricky games, bro.
In Brighton. Was it in Brighton? In Brighton.
Again, tricky game. So to me, they never left. It was a tough fixture to start with, and they're too close for you to say that they never left me. To me, they never left.
They're looking good, and we all thought that they'll struggle with Europe. They got a great draw against AC Milan, and they smashed PSG. So they're looking good. Like that's good. They're gonna have confidence. So I ain't counting them out anything. And
it's all going to be how they manage the fixtures for them. That's what it's going to be.
And they still got January to come. So if they want to spend some of them P's, then they can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for this show. The review show is now over. I bid you good night.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace.